Hey everyone, I'm Jay Cohen, editorial director here at Feedfeed, and it is time for Thanksgiving recipes. I have my favorite dessert. These are chocolate pecan pie bars. They're all of the best parts of a classic pecan pie wrapped up in a super simple chocolatey bar. Naturally, we have pecans or pecans if you want to cyberbully me in the comments. Then we have stuff to make like a really quick custard. I do not use corn syrup. I'm using eggs, cinnamon, and white and brown sugar. We got milk chocolate chips as well as dark chocolate bars, and that's all going to cover the simplest 4-ingredient shortbread. So this kind of all comes about because I'm a bit of a masochist when it comes to Thanksgiving. I host my family, my husband's family, it's about 20 people, and I do all the cooking. So every year I'm like really venturing into the realm of finding easy sides and desserts that I can add on that are going to wow my guests without adding a lot of stress to me. So that's what these bars are. You can make them in advance. They're super like quick and easy, and they're delicious. Let's get going on the easy crust. I am going to do it all in the food processor, but you can kind of do it however you want. You could do it in a stand mixer with the paddle attachment. You can do it in a bowl with your hands. Honestly, it comes out great any way you go. 2 sticks of softened butter, half a cup of light brown sugar, 1 teaspoon of kosher salt, 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour. Just gonna pulse it all together, press it into a 9x13 baking pan. I'm gonna par bake it. Just until a dough comes together. It'll be super quick. We're good. Doesn't have to be perfect. Again, like I said, easy, no stress. Crumbs here, we're gonna press it in. Doesn't have to be perfect. You just wanna see these kind of larger clumps. And I've greased this and lined it with parchment. This is where you get to have some fun. Tear it up, start pressing. You want a nice even layer. If you're feeling real fancy, you could totally roll this dough out between 2 sheets of parchment to get a really even layer, but I don't have time for that. Cool, this looks good. What I am going to do is dock it. What that means is I'm going to take a fork and I'm going to punch a bunch of holes into the dough because when it goes in the oven, I don't want it to kind of like puff up. I want it to stay nice and flat. Boom, 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 boom. This looks good. Gonna get this into a 375-degree oven for just 10 minutes. That's it. You're par baking it. It's not gonna look cooked because it's not gonna be cooked, but you're gonna throw this in, make the filling, and then we'll actually finish it. The filling itself is super simple. It is a quick custard filling of eggs and sugar, and then we're going to add in chopped pecans. This is one of those kind of foolproof recipes in the sense that it's only gonna take you the time it takes to par bake the crust to get the whole filling together. We wanna keep this simple, remember? We are going to do more light brown sugar as well as granulated. And we are going to mix this up with a teaspoon of ground cinnamon, a teaspoon of kosher salt, a tablespoon of vanilla extract, and 4 tablespoons of melted butter. I am just going to start to whisk this all together into a little paste. I am going to crack in 3 eggs, 1 at a time. The main reason for this is I want this to be light and fluffy, so I want to incorporate a little bit of air. And it helps emulsify the batter better. We want nice, even ribbons. No lumps, nice and pale in color, just like this. And then because of the sugar, the combination of the white sugar and the brown sugar, it's gonna be nice and like caramel gooey in the center, but the top is gonna get that little crisp crust that you want. Okay, we have 5 minutes till the dough is done. I promised you the batter will be done before you par bake your crust, so we just need to chop up some pecans and some dark chocolate. I am not looking for super fine, I just want rough chunks, so I'm going to go through boom, boom, boom. I want some whole pieces, some half pieces, some little pieces. I am done. You can see we have some nice large chunks, we have some nice little chunks. We want a little bit of both for texture. That's what makes a wonderful pecan pie bar. Onto the chocolate, I want 2 cups of dark chocolate pretty finely chopped, but again, we're gonna do some rough pieces. We are going to put half of that into the batter, and the other half we are going to reserve for drizzling. The best part is you end up with these like chocolate shavings with these larger pieces. It just kind of melts into the batter. The reason I'm doing this is because chocolate chips are gonna hold their shape, but I want something a little like melty and gooey to pair with. 1 cup I am going to put aside, and this is what we are going to melt and throw on top. And the other cup is going straight into the batter. We have our pecans, 1 cup of milk chocolate chips, and 1 cup of chopped dark chocolate. We're just going to fold it up until it's incorporated, and our dough is just about ready to be pulled from the oven and topped with this gooey, delicious Thanksgiving. That custardy egg mixture will kind of fill out all of the holes, and you just want to make sure that the chocolate and pecans are in a nice even layer. I'm going to go in and then just kind of give it a little jiggle, and that'll help even out. And we're going to throw this back into the oven for about 20 to 25 minutes until the top is set. You will know because you will give it a jiggle. Then we're going to pull it out and cover them with more chocolate. We reserved 1 cup of dark chocolate. I threw it over a double boiler. What that means is a little pan of simmering water. You want just that steam, those wisps of steam. It shouldn't be boiling. If it starts to boil, turn it down. And I use a metal pan so it conducts heat evenly. You do not want the bowl to touch the water. You're just using steam to melt the chocolate, so it'll be nice and smooth and glossy. The bars have cooled completely. Honestly, this is such an important step. They will fall apart when you slice. You won't get those super clean bars if you try to eat them warm. I'm sure this would be an equally delicious recipe if you want to eat it with a spoon, but that's not the vibe we're going for. We're trying to entertain and serve people. So you are going to get 24 bars out of this. So I'm going to cut it in 6 by 4 squares. Let's talk about holiday entertaining. My favorite part is bringing other people into the kitchen. So this is a great recipe to get started and make it up to this point, and then bring in some friends to help you drizzle with chocolate, decorate, kind of gets more hands involved, fun for kids, fun for adults. So I'm gonna pull someone in from the editorial team to help me finish these up. So naturally, I pulled in our task kitchen manager, Rachel Gurjar, who's going to help drizzle with chocolate. Did you so obviously you didn't grow up with Thanksgiving, so what was your first experience with pecan pie?
I think this.
What? Have you never had pecan pie before?
No. Oh my God, I didn't even realize that.
Okay.
I always go for
We're
like
doing
apple.
this. We're doing this. Okay. Obviously, this is not traditional, but I think it's going to be a fun introduction to at least the flavors. So grab a spoon, grab a friend, drizzle with chocolate, throw in some flake salt, call it a day. This is just melted chocolate. We could totally kind of incorporate coconut oil and make it more that magic shell kind of thing. But if these are perfectly cooled in the end of November for Thanksgiving, typically they'll have a little bit of a chill to them. So the chocolate's gonna set either way. Just a little flaky sea salt. So naturally, we need to see how these work in an entertaining environment. So I grabbed the team, and we're all going to give it a go. You've had pecan. You like pecan pie. Are you a pecan?
It's so good.
Oh, and look at the bottom. You get that nice kind of golden crust. That's all about par baking it. No soggy bottoms here.
Yeah, I love like the texture of the pecans, the saltiness, the chocolate. And I think my problem with pies generally is that sometimes they're just too gummy and the bottoms are soggy, so I stay away from them, but this is really good.
Like, do you take these out before dinner as a snack, or this?
You
like,
can do whatever you do. You do you. I think my favorite part about these is that you already know how many you're gonna get. Typically when you do like a pie or a cake, like I am the animal that like screws up the ratio and I've taken like a quarter of it and now there's not enough for everyone. These, you know, you have 24, I would assume 2 per person. So we're gonna keep eating these. You're going to head to thefeedfeed.com. Huge thanks to GE for outfitting Feedfeed Brooklyn with GE Profile Smart Appliances.